What is the secret to sustainable weight loss? Okay, drum roll. Okay, sorry to break it to you. It's not a secret. It's actually maybe pretty boring, but it's really, really effective. And actually, you probably know this already. One of the best things you can do for your health and your weight loss is to meal plan. But I'm actually not a huge believer in giving a specific meal plan because I actually think that feels more overwhelming. I don't know about you, but then you have to figure out all the meals and it's like this whole new set of things to figure out. Instead, I want to teach you how to meal plan for yourself like a pro. And a pro, a professional, meaning, if you look at the definition, it's someone who is reliable, competent, specialized, really well trained. And that can totally be you when it comes to meal planning. And the best part is I'm going to teach you how to meal plan and even shop in less than 1 hour per week. Let's get started. Hey, welcome to the Kingdom Fit Moms podcast, where we believe that you can go on a journey to lose weight for the last time. I know you've tried all the things and you may not believe me yet, but when you do weight loss the Kingdom Fit Moms way, everything changes. You're in the right place if weight is constantly on your mind, you're confused about food, you're missing out on memories, and maybe even putting your dreams off for another day because this weight struggle is no joke. We're a community and we're on a mission to invite God into this weight loss journey so you can shed the burden and shine your light. I want you to start living and believing in the version of yourself that heaven sees. Let's get started. This week is a very exciting week because my website, kelseywickenhauser.com, is officially launched. And I am so pumped for this, you guys, because I have been working with my lovely website designer, Amelia Zobrist. You can go look her up if you need a website. She's phenomenal. And we have been working together to really create a space for you to have so many amazing free resources for you to get started wherever you're struggling. And one of those resources that I'm telling you about today is on the website, but also there's our Kingdom Keys to Weight Loss training where we teach you how to understand how to invite God into this journey, because I know that can feel really confusing. How do I invite him in? Am I supposed to just be praying for more motivation and white knuckling my way through it? It will really walk you through what that looks like to do Christian weight loss. We also have a training on overcoming emotional eating, an entire guide that you print out and go through, and I'll walk you through step by step, understanding from a Christian perspective how to break out of emotional eating. We have our Fit Mom Starter, which many of you have gone through. If you check out my Instagram today, you'll see some of the results. This is a 10-day course, completely free, to teach you how to lose weight fast, and the results have been really incredible. Some people have been down 10 pounds. They've had more energy, sleeping better, so many wins in the physical in just 10 days' time. And today, meal plan like a pro is what we're talking about. And you can go on the website and you can print off the entire free guide, but I want to talk about it today. I want to teach you a little bit more about how to meal plan and shop in less than an hour per week. You can totally do that. I do it every single week. And I want to talk a little bit more about meal planning today. So to start, I wanted to talk through a list of objections that I hear a lot of people making about why meal planning is too hard, why they don't stick to it, and maybe you're listening and you're not even really sure if meal planning is worth it. So let's talk through this because I think hopefully I can change your mind. So time and effort is a big thing, right? It takes time, it takes brain power to create this meal plan, the shopping list, preparing the ingredients in advance. It's time consuming, especially if you're busy. I totally get it. So like I mentioned, first thing, you can just pause this podcast right now and hop onto my website, kelseywickenhauser.com/freebies, and then you'll go to Meal Plan Like a Pro, because in there, I show you the exact process for how to meal plan and shop in less than an hour a week, the systems I use, etc. But I do get it that it does take some time commitment each week to sit down and think through what you have in your pantry or your fridge, what you need, what your family will eat. But I want you to think differently about this. When you take, let's just say, an hour or so to go through the process of just setting up your meal planning system, then ultimately you're going to save yourself, I can't even tell you, countless hours of time in the long run. So just imagine waking up each morning knowing exactly what's on the menu, or at least for dinner, okay, and not having to think about it. If you're in the Kingdom Fit Moms community, you probably are a busy mom. You have hundreds of other decisions to make during the week. So let's take meal planning out of that bucket of things to figure out every day. When your family comes home, you have a nice little Etsy menu up on the fridge and everyone just knows what they will be eating. Does that sound lovely to you, right? No arguing. Maybe through the meal planning process, you can even start delegating who is helping with what. Your teenagers, they can be in charge of cutting up veggies the day before, and maybe your hubby knows he's going to come home and put meat on the grill. Or maybe just imagine you've already thrown food in the crock pot in the morning, and then when you come home, that aroma of the hot meal, it's just lovely, right? You don't have to cook. That's the best. So I want you to just start imagining if you have a process in place of regular meal planning. When you go through your week, when things get busy, you already have systems in place and you don't have to think about it, and it is so freeing. Okay, the next thing that I hear often is just generally a lack of inspiration about what should I be making. I'm bored. I don't know what to cook. I'm tired of eating chicken and veggies. If you're trying to lose weight, that's like a common thing that I hear. People think they just have to eat chicken and vegetables. So maybe you even come home and you have already planned something, right? But then you find yourself ordering pizza because you don't have the inspiration and you're bored. So what I would say to that, when you're considering gearing up to really get this meal planning thing in gear, start with the meals that you are already making that feel easy to you. For example, if chicken and veggies, if that is a part of your routine and it's easy, then the best thing to do to start is just to get a new set of spices. So you've heard me talk about this on some of my previous podcasts. I use Epicure. I love this company. They sell clean spices, and you can it's basically making batch cooking so easy because you can take this base of whatever, like I'll make, peppers and onions and chicken, and then you can mix it up and have fajita seasoning with it one day, and then the next day you could add the exact same thing you've already cooked. You could add some marinara sauce. I love the Aldi organic. I've told you this before probably on the podcast, but I think it's Simple Mills. There's no added sugar. Anyway, and then you can add the Epicure cheesy fry seasoning, and then it tastes like delicious pizza sauce on top of your veggies and chicken. And then the next day you could add on Philly cheesesteak. There's so many different grill seasonings. And then you can make so many meals and they aren't boring. You could add some plain Greek yogurt to some of those, feels like sour cream. You could add some chickpeas and some different type of vegetables. You could add avocados, whatever you want. But when you have different seasonings, then you can batch cook one day and it could last you several days of meals. So then maybe if you are working shifts or you have busy evenings, you're just cooking a couple times a week and you're making a lot of it. And you could even take some and freeze it, have it the next week so you don't get tired of it. There's so many ways to do this, but it's really batch cooking at its finest. And then I will also say, I would recommend aiming for no more than one new recipe per week so that you're not overwhelmed. Start with, again, what you're already making and tweak it, and then maybe experiment with adding in one new thing that sounds exciting to you, and then it'll feel fun on that day that maybe you're the least busy. Maybe you feel like life is very unpredictable and you just never stick to your meal plan. Maybe you have a plan and they don't stick with it. Tell me if that's you, right? Well, I just wanted to let you in on a little secret about this, about my own life. I literally don't think I have ever 100% done my meal plan. And guys, this is like what I do. I'm a health coach and I meal plan all the time. So have some grace with yourself. Plans will change. Life happens. I have 3 little kids. You may have a job. You may have little kids. You may be running a business. I don't know what the situation is, but the point is you want to have the food on hand and you want to have an idea of where you're going. And you can also totally switch up the days that you cook. I have some clients that, they'll make their meal plan and then say Tuesday rolls along and they're like, I don't really want eggs. I'd rather have my, chickpea salad this week. So they switch it up and that's fine, but you have it on hand and that's the point. And you can always opt for one of your favorite backup meals like chickpeas and quinoa or scrambled eggs and frozen veggies, because life happens. You don't need to be perfect, but having a meal plan will give you those needed boundaries to at least stay the path and say no to things that are not necessary in your life. You can even go to that social event, and then before you go, you can eat if you want to, and then you can go and enjoy the people because you've already meal planned and it feels like, no, I'm just going to stick with what I had planned, and then I'm going to feel free to not worry about the food while I'm there, if that's where you're at. So what if you have picky eaters in your home? This is also challenging. I will not negate that, but it's totally doable to overcome this and to work with your family. So my first question would be, are your kids or is your husband, are they involved in the planning process? I'm kind of the mindset of if they are at an appropriate age and if they won't help meal plan, then it's kind of too bad, so sad, If they're not going to give input, then mom gets to decide because she's doing all the work. So maybe that's one gentle place that you can start nudging your kids towards helping more. And also remember that when you're teaching your kids to meal plan, choose one place to start, whatever that is. Maybe it's the prep, the planning, whatever. But remember that you're instilling an identity in them that this is something they need to learn. This is part of life. This is part of their identity of being healthy. And so if you're here, you're trying to break generational chains of poor health, part of it is just teaching your kids very practical tools for how to do this. Or maybe, again, a husband might be different because he's a grown man, but hopefully he's willing to come along this journey and also rewire some things if that is the case. Maybe he's already there and we're just catching up to our husbands. That could be. So if you have older kids, definitely encourage them to get involved in the preparation. And one of the benefits to this is when kids get involved in the food preparation, they're so much more likely to eat the thing because it's like they see where it comes from. And it's even better if you have a garden and you pick the thing and then they get involved with chopping it up and making whatever you're making. But it just gives them a greater appreciation for what goes into making a meal and the time spent and on and on. And then as you incorporate your family in the meal planning process, you can get their input. Maybe they, depending on the size of your family, they each get a say on one meal within a certain boundary each week. Maybe each meal can have something that seems less scary to them, all while incorporating these new real foods that seem weird to them, right? And you'll be so surprised by your consistency in what that does. My opinion is that most of the time, picky eaters are a result of not being exposed to a certain thing or being overexposed to fake foods because processed foods are so addicting and you just want more of them, right? So we have to start slowly shifting that pendulum to seeing real food as normal. So if you see it like that, then it's not black and white. You're just simply trying to take everything from that left side, or maybe they're eating all fake food. Maybe that's where you're at, and that's okay. And so you're just incorporating more and more real food so that that pendulum is slowly shifting over to that right side where that seems more normal. But this will take time, so don't feel like you need to be in a huge rush in order to change everything all at once. I will never forget the day my 3-year-old daughter was sitting at the counter and she picked up her fork and she started eating a salad. And I tried to play it cool. Like, what is she doing? This is amazing. And I wasn't forcing her, but I offered it to her and it seemed normal and she saw me eating it and now she likes salad. She's 4 now. So what about grocery shopping? Like I said, I have an entire process for this. I want you to hop down to the show notes and sign up for Meal Plan Like a Pro. So I'm going to teach you the entire process for how I meal plan and shop in less than an hour per week. And so many Fit Moms in our Fit Moms Academy, Fit Moms Accelerator, they are using this system. Now, you're going to need at least an hour. So you could break this up into a few chunks to work through the guide and start inputting all of your recipes, understand the systems. I understand this will take a little bit of time up front, so just go through it little by little, but it will set you up for success for literally years to come. I've been using this process every single week for the past several years, and now that's what we're implementing inside of our community. A few other tips though, before you go, download that free Meal Plan Like a Pro guide. Simplicity. It's totally acceptable. You can have a very simple meat and a bag of veggies for dinner, and that's okay. Eggs can be your new BFF. Chickpeas are my BFF. I love adding them to salad and getting protein in whatever way I can chickpeas because I just think they're delicious. I love hummus. I love all things chickpeas. So start with what you're already doing. If you love tacos, for example, then great. We can totally tweak your current taco plan to make it more conducive to weight loss. Maybe we'll switch to a little bit leaner meat. Maybe we'll nix most of the cheese. We'll add salsa for the sauce, put it on a bed of lettuce, switch out the sour cream for plain Greek yogurt. And then you have a nice little taco salad and your family can enjoy tacos the way that they've always eaten them and everybody's happy. So I think most of the meals that you're already making can be tweaked to be more real food focused. We made a $1 million spaghetti squash a few weeks ago with a squash from our garden that actually did survive, and it was so good. I actually liked it better than the regular $1 million spaghetti. And this is just an example. I still made a pan of the gluten-free noodles for my kids. Not necessarily gluten-free. It's just what I had. But anyway, I made that for my kiddos, and I made my husband and I these spaghetti squash. But you can take any meal and we can tweak it so that it has more real food focus. We're taking out the foods that maybe don't need to be there in as high of a proportion. And then it really takes out that pressure of like, oh my gosh, I need to go figure out how to make all these brand new salads or whatever. Now, I am a sucker for good salads, and I will totally teach you in this community how to not make salads boring, but that's for another day. So do not try to change everything all at once. Don't stress about every detail. Try to make sure that you have a lot of good ingredients on hand to make this a successful transformation. So maybe you need to stock up your pantry with some beans or lentils, or have some good quality sauces or salsa on hand or whatever that is. And don't be afraid to repeat a few meals week after week. Maybe every Tuesday is Taco Tuesday. That's okay. I bet your kids will love it. And then also, when I'm doing my meal plan, I don't plan my lunches. Typically, I will intentionally make enough for dinner to have that for lunch, and then keep breakfast really, really simple. So again, in my Meal Plan Like a Pro guide, I'm going to teach you the system I use, where I store my recipes, share recipes with friends, add in my grocery ordering system, all of that. So rather than take all the time to explain today, I just thought it would be easier for you to go download the entire free guide. It'll walk you through step by step what to do, how to create your own meal plan like a pro system. All right, go have fun, and I will see you next week. Hey Fit Mom, if this episode blessed you today and you can think of somebody else who's struggling in her weight loss journey, would you consider sharing this week's episode with her to give her a sense of hope? And then while you're at it, hop on over to our free Facebook community, Kingdom Fit Moms, for daily encouragement and support. Let's go shed the weight to shine the light.